Hello everybody, welcome. I'm No02. This is the third video in my complete guide to Bright Sands series, where I'm going to go through all of the notable locations, talk about the loot, the PvE, the PvP, and then some miscellaneous things like climbing on top of stuff or sneaky hiding spots and things like that. We are here at the Eastern Caverns. Eastern Caverns, just 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 on top of the East Collection Point here. You might be thinking to yourself, there's not really a lot going on in the Eastern Caverns, is there? And you'd be right. And you'd be right. Typically, in my past videos, I've broken things down in chunks as far as like the timestamps go, where I talk about only loot, only the loot, show the loot, all loot, loot, loot. Then I'll switch over to PvE, do only PvE, and then PvP. Because Eastern Caverns is kind of like a long, straight shot. I don't want to be zigzagging just up and down it, sort of nonsensically. So that, for the sake of time, I am going to just cover things as we go. So we're going to start here at one end of the cavern and just sort of work our way through, and I'll point everything out as we go. So pay attention to the timestamps. The timestamps will actually be rather specific. When it comes to loot, there's only two lootable containers here. It is the consumable crate. We have two consumable crates to loot. Beyond that, there is nickel, titan, and veltecite veins that we can loot. See right here, here's a titan. It seems like titan and nickel will spawn sort of just sporadically throughout this entire thing. Right where I am at right now is a PvE spawn here on the sort of second floor of the caverns. Typically there'll be 2 to 3 creatures, striders or rattlers, usually one rattler at the most, but you mix it up a little bit. And then directly down below, when there's nothing down there, other than there's another PvE group, which again can be 2 to 4 rattlers and striders, mostly striders. And of course there's a titan ore down there and things like that. So pretty much the same. It's pretty much reflected the same way. Now this second floor path, you can see here, just sort of leads out into the Woodcutters camp. There's really nothing special or unique going on here. There's another nickel right there, right? There's nickel ore, stuff like that, sort of spread throughout the entire cave. This is the other loot area. Yes. The other loot area. In fact, the bulk of the loot is here. We have the second consumable crate, covering the last bit. We have these old bones, which are a mission-specific item. As far as I can tell, there's no other use for these other than the mission. There is 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And I believe you need all 3 for the mission. But they do weigh 5 each. So you can carry one out at a time if that's what you desire, things like that. The only 2 hard spawns that I was able to find, and they are in no way consistent, they are pretty dang rare, is right here on this table. I've seen lumber spawn as well as some medicine, like old medicine or like weak stems. And right here, medicine. Old medicine, weak stems, med kit, and that's it. That's it for the loot as far as I've been able to find. There is a blue strider egg spawn. Like right here, I believe. If I recall correctly, it's right here. The footsteps for it will be in the lumber camp, like the main road into the lumber camp. And they'll guide you pretty much right there. The other thing we're going to look at right here is an alternative path in. This bridge right here. We entered from the collection. You can go up the tower or the bottom floor, doesn't matter. They both take you to the same place. Both just about all of the Eastern Cavern leads to this dig site, like archaeologist site. Down here is the Veltecite. Down here, waterfall. Nickel will also spawn down there. There's another PvE group down there. 2, 3 striders, maybe a rattler on occasion. Some nickel and some Veltecite down there. Here we have a stone bridge, which is for an alternative route in. And may not be the most obvious, which is why I want to show it off just a little bit. So if you, like, one of the, like, you can spawn over there as well as sort of over there. Or if you're coming here from Vaccine Labs or the lagoon, and you're hugging the right side of the map, you end up over here eventually. And of course, you can just run in right over there. But if you want to go straight to the dig site or get closer to the second floor area, you can climb on top of these rocks, mantle up. Very simple mantles. Do a little heroic jump here. And take this bridge in as an alternative route into here. You can get on top of all these rocks. If you want to know how to get on top, check out the Woodcutter video for the complete guide of Bright Sands, because it's the same mountain range. So getting up here is what I showed in the Woodcutters camp video. Next, we're at another PvE spawn. Looks like nothing spawned here, though. Typically, there'll be, again, 2 to 3 creatures, 1 rattler, a couple of striders, things like that. So I want to point your attention... Ooh, hold on. We missed one thing. We're at the camp, right? We came from up there. That's the second floor. If you come from over here, that's the path on the bottom floor of the cavern. But up here, I'm going to show off just a nice little hidey hole place. Lots of bushes here, right? Lots of bushes and some high ground if you crouch in them. And sort of position ourselves right here. We can see that path over there, the path down there, path from the Woodcutters camp, and our flank is totally covered by the flora. And in the same way, we can park ourselves over here. That is the entryway from the outside, what I just showed you, that bridge. The main path over here. And again, our flank is covered by the bushes. Next up is actually a way to get into the Woodcutters camp and put yourself right at the tall house. That's the path outside again. But you can just climb on top of this. Easy peasy, no problem. Climb on top of that. Climb on top of this. You can make that jump. But you go over here. You have to mantle spam this a little bit sometimes. You just climb up this. And here is the tall tower, getting you into the Woodcutters camp. You can also get up to this same place by mantle spamming these rocks right here. Jump on top of that, and just do the same thing. This is actually one of the first places that I ended up exploring when I first started playing the cycle. Now, I thought it was so cool. The little immersion, little space cave action going on. First fights with some striders. Pretty neat. Now we're at a 3-way path. To the right is a dead end, but there'll typically be some mining down here. Potential mining over here. As well as just a little hidey hole corner. You can see this from the outside, and this is what I saw first when I first started playing. I came over to this and looked inside and was like, whoa, there's a super cool cave over there. Found my way into this cave. I like this area just in general. Mostly just nickel. But there's really just nothing going on in here. Just a little hidey hole right here by the glitched plant life. Now straight up is the river that sort of goes to, you can't really see it because of the webcam, but this river will run all the way to the waterfall labs on the low ground to take you past the waterfalls. There is typically a PvE spawn here of some striders and rattlers, as you can see. They go in, take that. Striders. Down this path, there'll typically be some mining to do, titan and nickel. It's like that. And as you run out here, you'll see we're on this low ground here. Woodcutter camp is 255. And this path will just keep going to the waterfall lab. Run up this path here. We're going back into the caverns. And this is the final third path that we didn't take yet at our junction here. This is a 4-way path, right? 4-way crossing. Right, so we went right, we went left. This is straight ahead now, taking us into this nice big cavern. And there is typically nothing in here. Very minimal mining, if at all. Like, I almost rarely to never see... I don't think I've ever seen anything to mine in this room. You can climb up there if you watch my Woodcutters camp video. Heck, right? Am I right? Right, but there's just nothing in here. There is some high ground that you can get on top of. You can climb on top of here. There's some dark corners over here that you can climb on top of. Right. You can climb on top of this and crouch into this corner. There's a little hidey hole. And then the final bit of this area, and it seems strange to me that I have never, ever seen anything spawn in here. Little man-made hut. Little hidey hole here. Nothing on the shelves. There's an obvious med case here, but it's not an interactable. You can't do anything with it. Nothing on the crates or on the bed or underneath the bed. There's almost a phone number. Right, need help if you read. Wait here. ECN. Right, tables and some crates but just nothing here. But that guy. Yeah, I've never seen anything spawn here. Not particularly great hiding place because it's, I guess, obvious, but, I mean, if you're running from people and hiding, good luck. The final bit, though, of the cavern, or what I'm going to include with the cavern, is up here, actually. So we're out of the caverns now. There's the Woodcutters camp. That's the cavern. And there's this nice, long, sort of cave corridor here. And what's here is just more mining. More nickel and more titan. Nickel and titan. And it sort of goes mostly along this right wall here. But I've also seen it spawn along these columns. Nickel right there. And it ends here at the substation, which I smell future content. That's what I smell here, the substation. If you get your nose right up to it, it smells like future content. And that's it for the caverns. Be careful not to jump down from here, because you will take a lot of damage. Like, they even have signs. And then these two stone bridges just take us back to the Woodcutters camp. And that's really it. That's really it for the Eastern Caverns. Not a lot going on. 2 consumable crates, a bunch of PvE, and a bunch of Titan and nickel. And that's really it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the future.